This is Filecoin, and how is it looking after last week's weekly candle close? Because that's going to be very important. There are still quite a bit of bullish signals here for Filecoin, and let's see if they play out. Okay. Now, I've been talking about Filecoin. This is a huge falling wedge pattern on the weekly time frame, and this has been building up since March of last year, so long time, okay? And this falling wedge pattern, if it breaks out by this point, for example, price target would be about almost $13 for Filecoin, which is still pretty significant. Now, price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less, a lot of which does depend on what happens with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has more room to pump, which I think it does, then that's going to be good for the altcoins. However, if Bitcoin dumps, which there is still a risk of, okay, we're all just talking about probabilities here, then that's going to be very bad for a lot of these altcoins. Okay, so some things to be paying attention to is Bitcoin. I would link you guys at the end of this video to my more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin chart first. Now, let's take a look into from within the falling wedge pattern, because this falling wedge pattern is getting very tight and there could be a move coming soon. Now, falling wedges are bullish patterns that have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. If it breaks to the upside, then, we talked about that price target. Something to pay attention to, though, is that there's quite a bit of resistance along the way. And why why do I talk about resistances? Because that's where usually traders take profits, right? Especially on the first time on a resistance. Okay, so for example, Filecoin has not hit the weekly 200, which is the orange line here, which is a major moving average at any time at all. So this would be the first time going up to retest that to test that moving average. I expect that to be very strong resistance. Okay, that's why I would pay attention to it if I was in a Filecoin position. I am not right now, but that's what I'm saying. Let's take a look into now there is also a very high likelihood, of a bullish divergence scenario if Filecoin comes down here to anywhere below $1.45, right? I'm talking about this bottom right here, which has an RSI reading of about 35. But if Filecoin actually goes below $1.45 or even slightly below, chances are you're going to get a pretty good bounce from this bullish divergence, very likely bullish divergence scenario, in addition to a potential double bottom scenario. Okay, that's what would probably happen if Filecoin comes anywhere close to this bottom trend line again. However, let's take a look into a daily time frame, and I see a falling wedge pattern here from within this falling wedge, from within the bigger falling wedge pattern. And if this one actually breaks to the upside, which the probability suggests that it's in favor of, by this point, for example, let's just say by tomorrow, for example, price target is about $2.30. So let's see if Filecoin can actually hit this smaller price target and break out of the bigger falling wedge pattern and meet that price target. Okay, so these are some things to be paying attention to. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of Filecoin or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request due for you guys on a daily basis, and I'll see you on the next one.